Okay, so this is the evening maintenance on your Superior 640 Pro. So this is what you will do at the end of day or when you are done printing for the day. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is hit your function 3 to bring it back to your local. And then once you're in local, just hold the left button, holding left, moving your head all the way to the left side into the cleaning bit. And then once that's to the left, you're going to want to block the sensor. So you're just taking a piece of paper. I have a folded up piece of aluminum tape here. Just anything that will fit in between this and actually block the sensor. So I've got that there blocking the sensor to trick the head while we loading to clean out our capping stations. So you're going to come onto here. You're going to hit end or enter. And now the sensor blocked it, so now your menu will come up. So then you hit function 1, go to your jet maintenance, push the right button or the enter button. So hit enter, then go down to load ink and then hit enter. And now your capping station will continuously suck ink or just suck. So we're going to suck some water through that, distilled water, and get the capping stations flushed out. That's our first step. Okay, so while it's sucking, you're going to want to grab your water bottle. You can use an old ink bottle. Just when you're finished with the ink, rinse it out, and you can actually use it. It's got a good nozzle at the end. But any water bottle will do. You can get one from the dollar store as well. That's another water bottle. But then what you'll do at this point is as it's sucking while it's loading ink, it'll do it for 60 seconds, I think, or 120, and then it stops. So what you're gonna have to do is go back to your jet maintenance again every time it stops, and then just reload ink and continue flushing out your capping station. So again, it stopped. We're gonna go to jet maintenance, down to jet maintenance, hit enter, and then you're gonna go down to load ink and hit enter. And then it will start to commence the sucking again. And then after it sucks, then you continue to just press water down there and just keep flushing it out. So what we're doing is we're cleaning the sponges inside the capping station of any residue of ink, so that when we put our moisturizer in here, it doesn't sit in a bunch of ink that's been sitting in here off the sponge. So we clear out our capping stations and flush them out first like this. So just keep on flushing that water down, emptying that sponge out with ink. And just keep squirting down. You can push down a little bit on the capping station to sort of squeeze some extra ink out of there. And if you spill a little bit outside, that's okay. We're going to get that later with some foam tips. So just don't squeeze too hard where you're squeezing and splashing everywhere. Just enough to actually get it in there and have it sucked down. So there, now it's stopped. So when it stops, I fill these all up just to see how much residue is left in it. And then if there's not much or none, then you're good. So there's a little bit of residue left, which is fine, but I'm gonna flush it one more time just to solidify that. So we're gonna go back to here, down to our jet maintenance, enter, down to our load ink and enter. And again, it will go down, back up, and then continue to suck. And then you just continually pour more water into it and just clear the capping station right out of any ink that's left in there from your day's printing. And then once those are cleared out, then you can come over here and you can just hit end, and it'll go back to your main menu. Hit end again, and you're at your main menu. So you push end twice and you're at full main menu. And now we're ready to take the next step and clean around the capping stations, our wiper blades, and then moisturize and get it ready for wet capping. So just before we start doing that, we're going to go up to our sensor, and we're just going to ensure that we remove that now, because we are done flushing the capping station. So remove this, whatever is blocking the sensor from it. So you're unblocking the sensor at this point, and now we're going to continue to clean the rest of the capping station. Okay, so for this part here, you're going to need a cup with about half a cup of distilled water. You're going to need about 3 foam tips, and you're going to need your moisturizer as well. So we start off by taking your foam tip, rinsing it out, and starting with the wiper blades, cleaning them off of any ink that's gotten on them and any little chunks of ink as well. Just wipe all that off. After every blade, just wipe, rinse, and repeat on the next blade. Again, getting all of the ink and residue off of the wiper blades first. Once you have your wiper blades cleaned, wipe around your capping station. Ink will sometimes dry around the side. You just give it a nice scrub like this. Give it a good scrub around it. If it's sticking, just make sure you get all of the ink and any dry ink as well, little chunks, just pick them out of there. You go around each one. All right, and once you get those all cleaned off of all your ink, a little bit left on that white one, let's just grab that. Now you're not going to get all of the ink residue, but you want to definitely get it for the most part. And then after you've cleaned around your capping stations, by rinsing it out, you're going to take another foam tip, you're going to squeeze it out, and then you're going to put moisturizer, and just don't overfill the sponge or the foam tip, just enough in there to get it nice and soaked with the moisturizer. And then you start off with your blades, wipe each side of the blade, moisturize it, each side of these. And then after I do the blades, I'll rinse it, a little bit more moisturizer in there, and then I'll just go around the actual tops of the capping station where it's a little bit of rubber that sits on your head, and I just like to have the top of that moisturized as well because your head rests on that. I'll just put some moisturizer around there. And then once you have moisturizer around the capping station tops and your wiper blades moisturized, at this point you can pour in the moisturizer to start your wet cap. So you're just pouring it in to cover the honeycombs, but you're not going to overflow it. So you're just pouring it in till the honeycombs are full, and then you stop. Just enough to allow the head to sit inside the moisturizer and stay moist until your next use. Alright, there. So now the capping station is cleaned. We've wet capped it, and now you can just take a paper towel with this little bit of spills around here, and you can just kind of wipe those up. I'm just going to take a napkin and just stick it in between and just absorb anything that's spilt there. Around it, all inside in between here. You can get in there. And now once you've wiped all around there and you're wet capped, we are ready to move over to our head cleaning station and finish cleaning our head. Okay, so here's underneath the head, and where you're going to be wiping is around the heads, not touching the heads, of course. We're going to be getting in between the heads and behind the heads here at the back. And then we're going to use our foam tip with lots of moisturizer, and we're going to clean out these crevices right here beside these little head guards. So on each side, and you got to clean all 4 sides of the crevices in here with moisturizer. Again, not touching the head, it's just on the outside. So you're going to need half a cup of water, a couple of foam tips still. You're going to need your moisturizer, and as well as for when you're cleaning the head, you're going to need to take 1 clean room wipe and fold it into 4. Okay, so we start off with distilled water, rinsing it out into the cup. So just wring the foam tip out, and then you're going to clean around the printer heads on these guards here first. These collect a lot of ink. So you're gonna wanna be pressing, and you can push as hard as you want here, just making sure not to slide over and hit the head by accident. So practice makes perfect. You start off slow, and then you work your speed up slowly. So just nice and easy. Right along there, and then you come on the other side, and there's 2 other guards on that side. So there's 2 of these on each head, so 1 on each side. So make sure that you're pressing up and cleaning those really well and getting all of the ink off of those. Push up, and then push up and across. Okay. And then once you have those cleaned off, you take a foam tip and you soak it completely with moisturizer. You want to completely soak this with moisturizer just in case you touch the head by accident a little bit. But you're going to be really careful here, and all we're doing is cleaning the crevices in one way. So just push up in the crevice and push out. And then you can go to the back one, again, pushing just up ever so slightly, and then just allowing it to slide through the groove and then straight across. And you'll collect any residue that's left in there or any ink that's stuck in there. So you're gonna do that on all 4 sides of each head, going across and across. And now you may have to rinse it out in between and then re-moisturize it, just because of the collection of ink that you'll get. And that's normal. So then we come across the back side of it, and the front side, the back side of this one, and the front side, and then we'll do the same with these ones. Just coming up the side, and if ink gets on, like if there's a lot of ink, again, just rinse it off and put some more moisturizer in it. That's all. You might have to do that a couple of times doing this. I'm just rinsing the foam off, putting more moisturizer, coming up the sides, around the back side of it, the front side, the back side of this one, and then the front side of that one. Okay, so once you have around the heads all moisturized and wiped out there, and you've got all the ink off of these guards here and pushed it out, then you can take your clean room wipe, fold it into 4. You're going to completely soak that with moisturizer. So just soak it with moisturizer and wring it out into your cup. Okay, into your half cup. You don't want to waste a lot of moisturizer. Just get the whole cloth nice and moist with moisturizer. And then once that's done, you can start at the back side, and you can come across the back and then come up the front and then come back across the front just halfway, and then go straight down the middle, go back through the back, and then kind of come up the side here. And I'm pressing fairly hard because I'm just pressing on the plate, and I have this cloth, and you have a lot of control with your fingers when you're using it. So then after you get around the whole head like that, and in between, you want to come through this middle and get in between the heads as well. So just make sure you're getting in between there. And then up here, it's like a little gap. There's little gaps. You can actually fold the clean room wipe, and you can press it up in there, and then just kind of shake it back and forth a bit and get any ink that got up in there as well. And then once you get all around here done, and that's normal, a little bit comes out, it's normal. We just don't touch the heads. And then once you get it wiped all around, we're ready to wet cap. Okay, so we've cleaned the head, we've cleaned the capping station, flushed it out, and we're ready for wet capping. Again, a little bit of residue like that's fine, it's normal. So you're gonna come over to your controls here, ensuring that of course your sensor is unblocked. Okay, then from that point, you're gonna come up, you're gonna hit your stop button, count to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn it back on. Allow the system to re-engage. Device initializing. And then your head will slowly go back all the way to the capping station, and then it will put itself to bed for the night. And that's it. That is your night maintenance for the Superior 640 Pro.